You might think turbo failures are just bad luck or cheap parts. Wrong. Most of the time it's the driver. Treat a turbo like a regular engine and you're basically writing checks to your mechanic for life. That ends right now. Here are 13 stupid engine habits that are killing your turbo. For every single one, I'll hand you the exact fix so you can stop the damage before it starts. Over 70% of turbo failures begin with driver behavior, not factory defects. Let's dig in. Habit number 13, using inferior or wrong grade oil filters. Your oil is only as good as the filter cleaning it. That rule hits every engine hard, but it hits turbos like a sledgehammer. Cheap paper filters, especially the basic orange ones and no-name economy brands, break down fast under the heat a turbo creates. We're talking shaft speeds over 200,000 RPM and oil temperatures that would cook regular filters. Once the media collapses, carbon, sludge, and even tiny filter fibers slip straight into the turbo oil feed. Clearances inside that turbo are measured in microns. One piece of grit scores the bearings, creates shaft play, and the whole unit starts shaking itself apart. Even worse, the bypass valve on cheap filters often opens too early under pressure, dumping completely unfiltered oil right into the turbo. Synthetic media filters solve this. Habit number 12, running low octane or poor quality fuel. Walk up to any pump and you'll see the labels. 87, 89, 91, 94 plus the ethanol percentages. Regular 87 is fine for most naturally aspirated engines. Turbo engines are a different animal. High cylinder pressure means high combustion temperatures. If the fuel can't resist early ignition, you get knock. The ECU pulls timing to protect the engine, power drops, and exhaust gas temperatures spike. That extra heat goes straight into the turbine housing and starts cooking the bearings and seals. Low-quality fuel also leaves more carbon, especially in direct injection turbos where deposits kill airflow and mess with combustion stability. Premium fuel resists knock. Top-tier fuel adds detergents that keep injectors clean so boost stays consistent. And if you're tuned, E85's massive octane rating is why serious turbo builds run it. Fuel quality is only part of the story though. Habit number 11, driving aggressively on a cold engine. Remember those 200,000 plus RPM? That shaft is floating on a thin film of oil. When the engine is cold, the oil is thick and slow. For those first critical seconds, the turbo is already spinning while lubrication is still catching up. That is pure oil starvation at the worst possible moment. Bearings start scoring immediately. Then thermal shock hits. You stomp the throttle, exhaust temps rocket, but the turbo housing is still cold. Metal expands unevenly and cracks start forming. Cold pistons have wider clearances, so you get piston slap that dumps more metal particles into the oil that feeds the turbo. Fuel wash from incomplete combustion thins the oil even more. Thick cold oil also spikes pressure and stresses seals. Give the engine 30-60 seconds at idle, then drive gently for a few minutes until temperatures stabilize. Habit number 10, shutting down immediately after heavy boosting. On a normal engine, you can sometimes get away with shutting off right away. On a turbo, it's a death sentence. Under boost, exhaust gas temperatures can smash past 800 degrees C. That heat soaks into the turbine housing and shaft. Till the engine and oil flow stops instantly, but the turbo is still glowing hot and still spinning. The oil trapped inside the bearing housing cooks into hard carbon deposits, oil coking. Those deposits clog the tiny oil passages and starve the bearings on the next startup. Seals start leaking oil into the intake or exhaust. Power fades, smoke appears, and the turbo is finished. Idle for 30-60 seconds after hard driving. That simple cooldown lets oil carry the heat away. Habit number 9, frequently lugging the engine at low RPM. Lugging is sitting in a high gear at low speed and flooring it. The engine is struggling, cylinder pressure spikes and low-speed pre-ignition. LSPI can fire the mixture before the spark plug even lights. That violent pressure wave smacks the piston while it's still rising. Cracked pistons, bent rods, and wiped bearings follow. The turbo makes it worse by trying to force boost into an engine that isn't spinning fast enough to handle it. Oil pressure is also lower at low RPM, so the bearings get less protection right when the load is highest. The fix is simple. Habit number 8, ignoring oil feed line integrity. Your turbo has no private oil tank. It lives or dies by the pressurized oil coming through a thin feed line. Over time, sludge, carbon, or even bits of old gasket material partially block that line. It still looks fine from the outside, but the turbo is running on reduced oil pressure at 200,000 RPM. Friction and heat destroy the bearings. Poorly routed aftermarket lines can kink under heat and vibration, creating intermittent starvation exactly when you accelerate. If you're already seeing oil in the intake, blue smoke, or a sudden power drop. Habit number 7, riding the throttle. On off, quick stabs just to feel the boost hit. It feels fun until the compressor starts surging. Air piles up against the compressor wheel and tries to reverse direction. The shaft oscillates instead of spinning smoothly. Repeated stress cycles fatigue the bearings and shaft. Constant rapid throttle inputs also force the wastegate and sensors to chase pressure spikes that can overspeed the turbo. Blow-off valves help, but they can't erase the cumulative damage from aggressive surging. Smooth throttle inputs keep boosts stable and the turbo happy, once airflow becomes chaotic. Habit number 6, neglecting oil change intervals. Everyone knows dirty oil kills engines. Turbo engines just die first. Extreme turbine heat cooks the oil faster, turning it into sludge that clogs the tiny oil passages inside the turbo. Oil flow drops just enough to reduce lubrication and cooling. Burnt oil particles act like sandpaper on the bearings. The oil loses its ability to handle heat, so it breaks down even faster, a vicious cycle. Shaft play appears, seals fail, power disappears. Stretching oil changes on a turbo isn't maintenance, it's scheduled destruction. Habit number 5, letting debris enter the intake system. Oil contamination is bad. Debris hitting the compressor wheel at full speed is catastrophic. Dirt, sand, or filter fibers strike the blades at extreme velocity, pitting the surface and destroying the aerodynamic shape. The turbo goes out of balance. Vibration tears up the bearings and shaft. Larger debris can chip or bend blades, killing efficiency and forcing the turbo to work harder for the same boost. Cracked intake hoses, loose clamps, or cheap open-element filters are the usual culprits. Habit number 4, ignoring boost system leaks and faults. Small boost leaks feel harmless because the car still drives. In reality, the turbo is forced to spin faster to reach target pressure, pushing it into overspeed territory. Heat skyrockets and wear accelerates. The ECU still injects fuel for the air it expects, creating a rich mixture that raises exhaust temperatures and washes oil from the cylinder walls. Power drops, lag increases, and codes like P0299 show up. Hissing, whistling under boost, or inconsistent boost pressure are the giveaways. A smoke test or boost leak tester finds the leaks before they kill the turbo. Once pressure control fails, the lubrication system becomes the only thing standing between you and total failure. Habit number 3, running improper or mismatched oil. Changing the oil on time means nothing if the oil itself is wrong. Turbos need oil that lubricates, cools, and protects at extreme speeds and temperatures. Wrong viscosity is silent death. Too thick and it crawls through the tight passages, delaying lubrication at startup. Too thin and the protective film collapses under heat and pressure, allowing metal-to-metal contact. Non-turburated or conventional oils break down fast, form deposits, and clog the oil channels inside the core. Manufacturers specify exact grades, usually full synthetic 5W30 or 0W20, for a reason. It's not a suggestion, it's the only oil film that keeps the shaft floating. Habit number 2, excessive boost pressure without supporting mods. Chasing numbers without upgrading the rest of the system is how engines die young. A turbo is matched to the fuel system, intercooler, engine internals, and airflow capacity. Crank the boost past that window and the compressor overspeeds, generating heat instead of useful air. Intake temperatures climb, knock risk explodes, and if the fuel system can't keep up, the mixture goes lean and burns even hotter. Higher exhaust back pressure loads the turbine and shaft harder. The intercooler becomes a bottleneck. Tuned boost without supporting modifications doesn't make a fast car, it makes a short-lived one. And even the most carefully tuned setup usually fails for a much simpler, more common reason. Habit number 1, starving the turbo of clean pressurized oil. This is the number 1 turbo killer. Roughly 90% of turbo damage traces back to oil starvation. The shaft floats on a high-speed film of clean pressurized oil. Interrupt that film for even a few seconds and metal-to-metal contact scores the bearings, destroys balance, and starts the death spiral. Low oil level, blocked feed lines, sludge from neglected changes, cheap filters, failing oil pumps, or wrong viscosity all create the same result. Heat builds, remaining oil cooks into carbon, passages clog further, and the turbo self-destructs. By the time you hear the whine or see the smoke, the damage is already done, so the real question becomes, which habits actually protect a turbo instead of destroying it? Because everything you've just heard leads to failure, yet some engines and turbos are still going strong past 500,000 miles.